Hey everyone, welcome to the MatMadik channel. Alright, without further ado, let's just jump right into this. New World Order, Tom MacDonald and Adam Calhoun dropped around yesterday, my time in Japan. He was saying all in his community post that this is a crazy video. And, he says it with all of them, but let's just see what he's talking about here. Jump right into it.
Here's the problem with America, the country is broken, cause they minds stay closed, but they mouths stay open. Get attacked and we blame terrorists, go broken, we blame the price, blame racists for the racism, but only if his skin is white. If we don't need guns, cause we can call the police. We don't need fire extinguishers, call a fireman, please. You didn't want to build a wall and now the border is weak. Your favorite actor has a gate that's like 15 feet. Racism is gay, offended, that's retarded. And tolerance is great until you speak and you're a target. If a white man paints his face black, he's a racist piece of garbage, but you put him in a dress and he's courageous and he's gorgeous. All these double standards, man, I'm tired of the noise. Freedom's an illusion if they censor your voice. Call a dad a deadbeat for neglecting his boys, but a mom kills a baby and you call it pro-choice.
If you can see it very, very lightly, but I just got goosebumps immediately. No, it's the camera's too smooth. Alright, if you it down here, it's just yo. You know what's brilliant about Tom? He can do the same thing every time. Just bring is the narrative. I think he's got the whole thing down in terms of what keeping the finger on the pulse on what people want to hear people talk about when it comes to unfiltered truths. Just putting these analogies, juxtaposing these ideas right up against each other. Pro-choice versus child abandonment, on being ashamed when it's done by the man, or people appropriating genders versus people apparently appropriating races, people looking down on guns, but people looking down on guns until they realize that they need them to protect themselves, embracing the Second Amendment is just a business. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm talking about First Amendment. Is my God, it's such an important thing, and I personally think what's going on in America, is a case of people being given a wake up call, and I have a sneaking suspicion that the way this whole thing is laid out is like a big old reverse psychology project that's highly society is being put under to realize the error of their ways. I mean, I just got in talks with Daniel Armstrong recently, talking about Loza apparently being dissed recently because people digging up in his past that he made a Trump diss song once upon a time. But all these things that people take for granted until they realize just how important it is to be able to fend for themselves in this world, and cut through the nonsense that they've been told to believe to perpetuate their own state of self-deprecation, if you will. is just something. It's just something that people just need to get a taste of reality to really realize why all the stuff that people have been shouting about from the conservative end of the pitch is so valuable indeed. Yeah, he's brought that. Tom MacDonald's brought Adam Calhoun in with this one. I wonder what he's gonna add to this. Anyway, sorry, I've been going on too long. Let's go.
You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know
Wow.
that. Good job, you lose. Here's your medal. To a new world order.
He did it again. You can't lose this guy. Okay, let's get his goosebumps immediately. Again, it's like I said, it's great how Tom MacDonald can say the same message, and it come across as bringing out new songs. Essentially, what he's talking about is you can be refreshing by talking about good old values. And he's really doing a great job for the conservative movement, if you will. All right, now here comes Adam. Tom MacDonald's been given good advice by Loza and whatnot. I wonder if he and Loza will get together. If he does, Tom MacDonald, he knows how to make an impact with his pieces. The songs are not just a bunch of people getting together to do a freestyle for fun. He's got a proper message, and I love to hear No Life. I love to check out No Real Life Shaq's reaction to this, because I understand Adam Calhoun rubbed him up the wrong way one day with a few messages, but Adam Calhoun is still wished the best by No Life Shaq. Anyway, let's see what Adam's got to say to this.
Why they hate the flag, they try to burn it to the ground. Don't do that in front of me, I'ma let off a round. Pow, scream loud, burn the city down now. Put it on the news, make them all feel proud. Look, make a system where 85% of black people fill the prison. Is it cause they black or they make bad decisions? I ain't good at math, but it seems like it's division. Or is it white privilege? I believe politicians need to be locked up. Try to take our freedoms, that's how you get shot up. Got our back against the wall, try to just stop us. More guns, more
Buzz. Oh.
Rights get infringed. Take this syringe, frighten your kids, show up right where you live. Make me wanna grab a rifle and just go.
Wow. And I love about that where he ended that flow there, is that he didn't rhyme the last word. Adam, that was raw, and the hook was excellent, and Adam Calhoun's verse is really smooth. Now, there's one thing I want to play about: the hook, and then Adam Calhoun's verse. The hook, your facts aren't facts without censoring us. Yeah, in fact, I skipped over something that Tom MacDonald said in the first verse about people. Oh well, yeah. It's kind of gone up my head because I was just talking too much earlier, but essentially talking about your facts aren't facts without censoring us. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to Truth Social. I mean, as of the time of this recording, I'm anticipating Truth Social coming online on board. I wonder if it's just going to acquire Rumble, because Rumble 1 is giving us the freedom to say what we want, and it's paying pretty well. I mean, I've got to say, people, if you guys want me to come on Rumble, let me know. Now, your truths aren't truths that's censoring us, or facts, if anything, not truths. That just shows that whoever needs to silence the other side for their truth to be heard aren't really being truth. I mean, aren't really speaking true facts. Now, so on one hand, one could say, yeah, well, the whole point of Truth Social is to take the megaphone away from the deep state media so we can get our voices heard. Here's the thing: we're not trying to silence YouTube. And I say us, the Patriots, people on the Patriot side, if you will. No, forget side. There's no side. We're just humanity. It's just the people who care for freedom, people in the real free world. All right. So, like I say, people like us, we aren't trying to we aren't trying to silence YouTube. We're not trying to silence the Dems and people who work with the deep state, people who are even on the right who work with the deep state, people who support big tech, people who support big pharma and all that stuff, and I'm speaking on their behalf as cheerleaders. Come on, Australia's right. Let's put everybody in chains and to hell with the First and Second Amendment in Australia. And Australia's a good example for America's First and Second Amendment. That's not applied to Australia. Like Don Lemon was suggesting was as of the time of this recording, is absurd claims on a TV show that people who do their own research on matters and are unqualified to. People who ought to just be watching CNN and not taking and get this crazy idea in their head that they should do their own research beyond what CNN tells them are idiots. I mean, you can say that all he wants, but as of the time of this recording, I'm just counting down the time until he gets fired. But anyway, we who are speaking our truth on the patriot front, if you will, aren't trying to silence the deep state per se. We're just making sure that we can't be silenced. If you want to put it into left and right, and what's really going on, it's not even so much left and right, it's the deep state versus the people. Let's put it this way: the deep state. I'm going to start saying that from now on instead of left and right. The deep state want to cancel people. The people just unsubscribe from who they don't agree with. if you want to put it in left and right terms, the left going to cancel, the right just want to unsubscribe from what they don't agree with. When something is truly not worth listening to, it just fizzles away all by itself. All right, so now, and before I just move on, I'm gonna just give a quick bit of commentary on Adam Calhoun's verse. Adam Calhoun's verse is very Adam Calhoun in that he in his style, and that he goes into saying things that people would say, "What? How could you say such things? You're saying black people in jail because of their choices? Don't you understand that that man is disadvantaged from birth?" Yeah, that's what you get. SJW, I say libtards, not cases, pushing for these days the fascistic SJWs, in that they, it's like when that woman said to 50 Cent, what's that girl's name? Chelsea Handler said 50 Cent cannot vote for Trump because he's had to remind him he's a black person. It's like when you the deep state supporting libtard SJW sets of people, they say the most racist things in the name of fighting to end racism. All lives matter, people. Anyway, you got to look at yourself and hold yourself accountable, and your own set of people hold your set of people accountable when you want to address an issue that is prevalent amongst your own, if you will. And if you want to, hey, and there's nothing wrong with somebody else from the outside apparently looking in on other set of people and just giving accurate comment, well, appropriate commentary, and addressing issues that need to be addressed before excuse me, addressing issues that need to be addressed. Yeah, addressing issues with the aims of actually weeding out the problem and uprooting the problem and just resolving it. You got to do that if you want society as a whole to move on together. These little nonsensical sects that David, I would say, with the ABC community, breaking people up into all these nonsensical groups, which Matt Walsh did a good job of talking about. Speaking of Tom MacDonald, talking about people appropriating gender, he did a Matt Walsh, a social commentator called Matt Walsh, did a great job on Dr. Drew's show recently, saying people in the transgender community seem to who are pushing the SJW nonsensical narrative at the moment actually appropriating genders and hiding behind calling people and this goes to people who aren't actually transgendered also, but hiding behind calling people transphobic, these nonsensical terms, calling people names as the SJW's modus operandi, hiding behind calling people names to keep their problems alive, and something that they cannot address, which everyone can see is plain as day. The emperor has no clothes on. A lot of the people from the transgender community who are on this SJW side, they cannot define a gender in the first place before claiming to appropriate it. Case in point, you say a man can be a woman, but at the same time you say gender is not real. So how can a man be a woman if you can't even define what a woman is? That kind of thing. Adam Calhoun comes with that same kind of rawness when it comes to holding people accountable for taking the SJW blanket of dis-ease and wrapping around themselves for comfort, like Linus's blanket. I mean, Linus was cleaner than that, but anyway, and scratching out at anybody who want to call them out on it. It's just, anyway, let's just keep going. Hilarious face. So, for speaking such sense, he's called crazy. Hence why Tom MacDonald was calling it a crazy video. Oh yeah, hey, I'm talking about, I haven't addressed the title. Does anybody catch that nonsensical idiot, those governors in Australia saying a new world order is a coming, and segregating people based on their so-called vaccination status when there's no vaccine being pumped through them altogether in the name of tyranny, by the way. And these idiot police, civil servant police, who are playing along with this. Anyway, those people are actually opening saying it's was New World Order. No. Anyway, it's like, huh? And we're crazy for calling out what we can see plain as day before us. These naked emperors of no sort of empire at all. Anyway.
Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose. Here's your medal to a new world order. And everyone blames white folks for every little bitty thing. We don't have.
I love that. New World Order? Go to hell. Anyway. The future does not belong to the globalists, but the patriots.
No one to blame, we take responsibility. They tell you be a man, then call it toxic masculinity. Then when you act too feminine, they call it white fragility. I don't understand trans man with humility. I'm just trying to raise my kid the best of my ability. If I disagree, you try to cancel, get rid of me. You cancer, you can't be the answer, you killing me. And I hate white supremacy.
Goosebumps again every single time. These guys are absurd. This is, in my opinion, they're the top of the rap game. I mean, I like what Lozo's doing coming in, but sorry, man, Tom MacDonald's he's a new Eminem, if you will. What Eminem was when rappers say, but in his heyday, I suppose, when rappers seeming very done to death, and this new kid came on, and Eminem was just bringing lyrical, impressive content, and it seemed to have substance because it's pure entertainment. But and of course, some of you who never mind who is a Eminem fan, I grew up loving Eminem, man. But loving Eminem is a bit like loving Jackie Chan now, almost. I mean, Jackie Chan's purer than Eminem, but when Jackie Chan came up in support of the CCP, oh man, that was pretty not cool. But hey, maybe I can still enjoy the old Jackie Chan movie now and then, eh? Now these days, until this war is won, which will be, I believe, within 2 years, we'll see some great progress. But hey, you guys probably in the know as of what's going on, so I don't have to talk to you about that. Anyway, Tom MacDonald, Adam Calhoun, calling out the nonsense that people are being forced to swallow every day, and it's doing great. He's doing great work to wake up the normies. Anyway, let's keep going.
Just as much as you, but I ain't feeling guilty for something I didn't do. The system's killing every. Just as much as me, you cancer, you can't be the answer, you killing me. And I hate white supremacy just as much as you, but I ain't feeling guilty for something I didn't do. The system's killing everyone, it sucks, but it's true. They kill you, then they broadcast it and call it the news. Or they'll brainwash you through social media feeds. And if you disagree, delete you immediately. Make America China pretty easy to see. Always remember the land of the free.
I gotta say, Tom MacDonald's. Can you see the goosebumps now? No, it's just this light is too bright. Oh, come on. There you go. A little bit. Never mind. Whatever. I think Adam Calhoun's bars are, at some points, are harder than Tom's. But Tom MacDonald's he comes from a more centrist way of talking about it. Even saying things that I hate white supremacy as much as you. I don't know if I'd heard Adam Calhoun say that. I would have heard him say that in this song per se, but even though I imagine he shares the same sentiment, but Adam Calhoun's not coming from that perspective. Adam Calhoun's way of saying it is, you can call me if you want, but I'm just going to say what I know to be what the deal right now, what the deal really is, and I'm pretty sure you'd agree with me once I just lay out what I'm talking about as purely and rawly as I can. When you just said trying to make in America China, it's like Adam Calhoun's kind of, it's a very interesting chemistry they got here. Adam Calhoun is almost saying what Tom MacDonald's really talking about. Tom MacDonald's kind of translating it for the normies. Can you feel it's a little difference in the way that both of them are approaching the same thing? Adam Calhoun's he's more what you call redneck, if you will, more probably more conservative, and Tom MacDonald is more libertarian a bit, very very slightly. Even though Tom MacDonald, of course, is coming very conservative in the way he talks, it's just a tiny bit more in the libertarian arena, and Calhoun's a touch more in the what you call in the raw, raw conservative and I don't know to say that, but hey, I can say what it's no problem with it. More in the redneck voice, if you will. But let me know what you think. In any case, they're both just speaking as people, and I just vibe with what they say altogether.
You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose. Here's your medal. To a new world order.
Oh, what's this? The Brave MacDonald pre-ordered the new album. What? Have they got an album? Have they got an album together with like the Once Upon a Time Jay-Z and R. Kelly? Ha ha. Well, no. I mean, have they got like a collaborative album coming out? That sounds pretty interesting, don't it? You held that back from me, indeed. Well, I love it. Let me know what you think, people. God bless you. Where we go, one we go all. And please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let me know, guys. Listen, I just want to know if there's anything in particular you'd like from the membership that I've YouTube members that I've actually started. I could let me know. Yeah, check it out if you like it. Anyway, without further ado, catch you next time. Peace.